Trump meets up with Pakistan Army. Donald Trump brought Pakistan Army chief and said that it was a great honor meeting him. How do you look at it?
Look, I have not seen the outcome after the meeting. I understood that apparently, according to the White House, this general had said that the president should get the Nobel Peace Prize and so on. And he was rewarded with a lunch. I'm very pleased that I hope the food was good and that he has also got some food for thought in the process. I would hope that in these interactions with the Americans, that they would also remind Pakistan of the great importance of not supporting terrorism, of not providing a safe haven to terrorists, of not enabling, guiding, training, arming, financing, equipping and dispatching terrorists to our country from their soil. This is something which some of the American senators and congressmen who met the Pakistani delegation that was there at the same time that my delegation was there did do. They did tell Pakistan all of this. And it is our hope that everyone in the US government will do this. They could not have forgotten the episode of Osama bin Laden so quickly. Osama bin Laden killed over 2,000 people in the 9/11 attacks. And he did so on American soil. He destroyed two iconic American buildings. Large numbers of American citizens and those of many other nationalities lost their lives. So in those circumstances, Pakistan's culpability in hiding this man until he was finally found in an army, in a safe house near an army camp in a cantonment city, that is something that could not be that easily forgotten and forgiven by the Americans. So I hope that while the general was being wined and dined or lunched and munched, I don't know, at the same time that he would have got these firm messages because that would also be in America's interest.
So your delegation met the vice president, but
Yeah.
the general now meeting the president himself. So there is allegation from the Congress that our diplomatic relations or our foreign relations are not that good. That's why it has come to such a situation. How do you see this?
No, I mean, there's absolutely no doubt that our Prime Minister had already met the President first. For us, for a parliamentary delegation to be received by the Vice President is itself a significant honor because in some countries, parliamentary delegations only are met by other parliamentarian members or members, in this case, of the US Congress and Senate. We met them also, but we certainly had the privilege of seeing both the Vice President and the Deputy Secretary of State. And in both cases, we gave exactly the message that you have heard the Prime Minister now giving to the President. So not only was this message already received from our delegation, but it was received and accepted without any demur, disagreement or argument by the Vice President and by the Deputy Secretary of State. They fully understood exactly where we were coming from. You know, the question about mediation is something that I have answered to all of you in the past. Mediation implies equivalence, and there is no equivalence between terrorists and their victims. There is no equivalence between a state that dispatches terrorists and a state that repels them. There is no equivalence between a state from which attacks are conducted and a state that is exercising its right of self-defense. And where there is no equivalence, there can be no mediation. The question is academic. Furthermore, in the case of Operation Sindoor, from day one, India had made it very clear that this was a strike of retribution against terrorists. At no stage did India ever imply it was the opening salvo of a protracted war. On the contrary, we made it clear that if Pakistan chose to respond, only then would we further respond. If Pakistan stopped, we would stop. This message was given not just to Pakistan, but to the world. If you watch the daily briefings of the Indian government and the armed forces, during Operation Sindoor, the message was clear. So we never needed persuading to stop. If there was any pressure from American President Trump, that pressure would have only been on Pakistan. It would only have been on General Munir. So maybe that's why he needs to thank. It's not on us. And I think that is something that we must all understand. We welcome any pressure the Americans may have put on Pakistan, but we did not ask for it. We did not request anyone's mediation. What we have done is we have said our intention is this. Terrorists have attacked our country. We are tired of just only dealing with them on our soil. We are now going to deal with them where they are based, and we are going to hit their bases. If Pakistan wants to rise in defense of terrorists and hit us, we will hit them back. If Pakistan stops, we will stop. Every single day, this was our message. Pakistan offered to stop, we stopped. I don't see any issue there of requiring mediation or requiring pressure on us. And when we explained this in our meetings, it was fully understood. Absolutely fully understood. And I can assure you that what the Prime Minister is now reported to have said is the message that we ourselves had given. I personally spoke to the Vice President in the meeting. We have been very diplomatic and correct in not saying all this publicly, but now today I can reveal it. It is something that we have already conveyed, and there is no doubt at any level of the US administration where India stands on this matter.